perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of poor and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
बोले क्या अब आप ये बोल रहे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। क्षमा करें, थोड़ा आने में विलंब हो गया। जरा दमानत किया। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। तो आप सभी भक्तों का श्रीमद् भागवतम प्रातःकालीन सभा में स्वागत है। ऐसे तो श्रीमान चैतन्य चरण वहाँ पे दे रहे हैं, तो आप सब हमारे को प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए एक मौका दिया सेवा का, बाकी कुछ कोशिश करेंगे। आज वसंत पंचमी का बहुत शुभ महोत्सव है और वसंत पंचमी के साथ पंच आचार्यों का भी, 5 आचार्यों का आविर्भाव, 4 आविर्भाव और 1 तिरुभाव दिवस है। तो हम श्लोक पढ़ेंगे, उसका थोड़ा सा बात करेंगे, फिर उसके बाद चर्चा आचार्यों की कथा करेंगे। तो हम श्रीमद् भागवतम 6ठे स्कंद अध्याय 17 इसे देख लेते हैं। अध्याय 17 श्लोक क्रमांक 22 और 23 का पठन करेंगे। तो पहला मैं पढ़ देता हूँ, दूसरे को हम दूसरे में तात्पर्य है प्रभुपाद जी का। न तस्य कश्चित् दयित प्रतीपो न ज्ञाति बंधु न परो न च स्व समस्य सर्वत्र निरंजनस्य सुखेन रागा कुत एव रोषः। तत् अनुवाद हिंदी में। पूर्ण पुरुषोत्तम भगवान समस्त जीवों को एक समान देखते हैं, अतः न तो कोई उनका अत्यंत प्रिय है, न कोई शत्रु, न तो उनका कोई मित्र है, न कोई परिजन। इस भौतिक जगत से अनासक्त होने के कारण उन्हें तथाकथित सुख के लिए न तो कोई स्नेह है, न दुख के लिए किसी प्रकार की घृणा। सुख तथा दुख सापेक्ष हैं। भगवान सदैव प्रसन्न रहने वाले हैं, अतः उनके लिए दुख का कोई अर्थ नहीं है। अभी हम अगले श्लोक का पठन करेंगे। तथापि तत्शक्ति विसर्ग एषाम सुखाय दुखाय हिताय बंधाय मोक्षाय च मृत्यु जन्मनो शरीरिणां संस्मृतये विकल्पते। तथापि तत्शक्ति विसर्ग एषां सुखाय दुखाय हिताय बंधाय मोक्षाय च मृत्यु जन्मनो शरीरिणां संस्मृतये कल्पते। तथापि तत्शक्ति विसर्ग एषां सुखाय दुखाय हिताय बंधाय मोक्षाय च मृत्यु जन्मनो शरीरिणां संस्मृतये कल्पते। वैष्णवी। सुखाय दुखाय हिताय बंधाय मोक्षाय च मृत्यु जन्मनो शरीरिणाम संस्थितेव कल्पते। अनुवाद शब्दार्थ अनुवाद और तात्पर्य श्रील इसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद द्वारा श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय। शब्दार्थ तथापि तो भी तत्शक्ति ईश्वर की शक्ति का विसर्ग सृष्टि येषाम इन सबों बद्ध जीवों का सुखाय सुख के लिए दुखाय दुख के लिए हित अहिताय लाभ तथा हानि के लिए बंधाय बंधन के लिए मोक्षाय मुक्ति के लिए च भी मृत्यु जन्मनो तथा जन्म का शरीरिणाम समस्त देहधारियों का संसृतये आवागमन के लिए अवकल्पते कर्म करता है। अनुवाद यद्यपि परमेश्वर कर्म के अनुसार प्राप्त होने वाले हमारे सुख दुख से अनासक्त हैं और कोई भी उनका शत्रु या मित्र नहीं है, तो भी वे अपनी भौतिक शक्ति माया के द्वारा शुभ तथा अशुभ कर्मों की उत्पत्ति करते हैं। इस प्रकार भौतिक जीवन को चालू रखने के लिए वे सुख दुख लाभ हानि बंधन मोक्ष जन्म मृत्यु की सृष्टि करते हैं। तात्पर्य यद्यपि श्री भगवान अपनी आदि दिव्य स्थिति में प्रत्येक वस्तु के कर्ता हैं, किंतु अपनी भौतिक स्थिति में बद्ध जीवों के सुख दुख अथवा बंधन मोक्ष के लिए वे उत्तरदायी नहीं हैं। ये तो उन बद्ध जीवों के सकाम कर्मों के फल के अनुसार प्राप्त होते हैं। न्यायमूर्ति की आज्ञा से एक व्यक्ति बंदी गृह से छूटता है और दूसरा बंदी बनाया जाता है, किंतु इन लोगों के सुख दुख के लिए वह न्यायमूर्ति उत्तरदायी नहीं होता। इन लोगों के सुख दुख तो उनके अपने कर्मों के परिणाम होते हैं। यद्यपि सर्वोपरि सत्ता शासन राज्य होती है, किंतु न्याय तो सरकार के विभिन्न विभागों को सौंपा रहता है। अतः व्यक्तिगत न्याय के लिए राज्य उत्तरदायी नहीं रहता। इस प्रकार राज्य सत्ता सभी नागरिकों के लिए एक समान है। इसी प्रकार परमेश्वर भी निरपेक्ष उदासीन हैं, किंतु उन्होंने न्याय तथा व्यवस्था के लिए कई विभाग बना रखे हैं जो जीवात्माओं की गतिविधियों पर नियंत्रण रखते हैं। इस प्रसंग में एक अन्य उदाहरण कमलिनी तथा भौरों का है। जिस प्रकार कमलिनिया वो नहीं, वो उसका क्या बोला है उसको, ये लिलीज के लिए लिली के लिए बोला है। हिंदी समझ नहीं आता कभी कभी। जिस प्रकार कमलनिया सूर्य प्रकाश से खिलती या बंद होती हैं, तो उससे भौरों को सुख या दुख अनुभव होता है, किंतु इसके लिए सूर्य या सूर्य प्रकाश उत्तरदायी नहीं होता। हरे कृष्णा। हम सभी यहाँ पे सम्मिलित भक्तों का आशीर्वाद की याचना करते हैं कि जो भी हमने परंपरा में सुना है उसी के अनुसार हम कुछ आप सबसे दोहरा के अपने हृदय को शुद्ध कर पाए, आप सबको प्रसन्न कर पाए, भगवान श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी जी, गौरनीता श्रील प्रभुपाद जी और सभी आचार्यों को खुश कर पाए। तो आप सबके आशीर्वाद की हम याचना करते हैं। आज जैसे हमने बताया कि 5 आचार्यों का भी तिथि है और बसंत पंचमी भी है, तो हम मुख्यतः उनके कथा करेंगे। फिर भी हम कुछ समय के लिए इस जो सुंदर प्रसंग चल रहा है उसके बारे में चर्चा करते हैं। तो ये चित्रकेतु जी जब पार्वती मैया द्वारा उनको अभिशाप मिलता है, तो वो किस तरह उसका सुंदर भक्ति भाव से उसका प्रतिक्रिया करते हैं, उसका वर्णन है। वो लेश मात्र भी गुस्सा नहीं होते, लेश मात्र भी अपने आप को अपने को किसी तरह जस्टिफाई करने का पॉइंट नहीं है उनका। उनका क्या है, वो समझ गए भगवान कृष्ण की यही इच्छा है, वही। हाँ, इंग्लिश चलता है, ओके, अच्छा। I took it as a convention that I have to speak. So it was his natural state of consciousness in devotion to take it directly from the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, that Lord Krishna wants this to happen for my own benefit. And it actually was the case. Lord Krishna wanted that he fastens his journey back to Godhead, and he had to become a demon for one life. But in that, actually his prema became more intense, and at the end of that, in his feelings of viraha, what prayers he sings are considered as one of the best prayers of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So here here Chitraketu Maharaj is explaining how actually all these curses, benedictions, all this is a superficial stuff that people consider. And now here he is sharing also about the Supreme Lord's role. So the Supreme Lord is as such not really affected by the sukha and dukkha. These are all temporary things which are coming like a wave, as he says. So in the when we try to learn the Sambandha Gyan, we will see Prakriti, Jiva and Ishvara. So Ishvara is on the top of both of these, Prakriti and the Jiva. And by the desire of the Jiva, then only something will be executed. So the desire is there of the Jiva, then the Lord is sanctioning that desire. Only if the Lord sanctions, then Prakriti acts it out. So actually all three are involved in any production of any situation which comes up. But because the Jiva desired, he is responsible for the action. He has to take the responsibility of the reactions of the action. And because it is sanctioned by the Lord, so when we should see the factor of how we are dependent on the Lord, and we have to appreciate the hand of the Lord, the gratitude for the Lord, then we see the Lord's sanction. And when we have to give up our doership, then we see that Prakriti is acting, not us. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma karta ahamiti manyate. So all the three the roles, when we see in true light, in proper perspective, then we have something important to learn from each of them. By taking responsibility of our action, because we have desired it, so we have to responsibly desire, and thus not blame others, blame the Lord, blame the situations around us for whatever we are suffering. So thus the person will not wrongly take the situation, and he will not disempower himself from further action also. Disempower means, like if he says, what can I do? Alarm clock rang, but I did not wake up, you know. So he can think like that, but actually alarm clock rang, he did not wake up means he has to take responsibility how he should wake up. If he says, Bhagwan ki इच्छा होगी कि मुझे सोना ही चाहिए था, no, it's not Bhagwan ki इच्छा, तुम्हारी इच्छा है सोने की, So the Paramatma did not give him a connection between the sound and the ear. So we have to take responsibility of our action. Not like Paramatma उठाया नहीं हमारे को आपने भगवान, लगता है आप मंगल आरती में सुलाना चाहते थे, you know. So that is why that jiva has to know his responsibility, that he has to take the right desire in his heart. Like sometimes if a person says, what to do, the sense object came in front of me. No, the sense object does not come in front of us. We are actually seeing the sense object because of a desire. Like, you know, if a school gets over and many children are coming out, so many children come out, but the mother will see her son. So many children are in front of him also, but somehow the eye will see only her own son. Why? Because that object is of attachment. Similarly, whatever we are desiring, that only becomes relevant in this world. Otherwise, this world is like for a pig, if he goes in a city which is very clean, he'll say there is nothing very valuable here. But if there are drains all around, then he will feel very attracted, you know. So according to our desire, something becomes important or not important. So that is why the jiva has to take responsibility, that he has taken a wrong desire, that is why he has wrong action going on, wrong situation coming up. And we have to purify our desires by the chanting of the holy name. And when he has to see that how I am completely dependent on the Lord, how Lord has been merciful upon me, that time we should see the Lord's hand. Like suppose we started late from the temple and we'll miss the train, you know. So we can be grateful to the, sorry, if we were about to miss the train, but the train remained on the station. You can say, "Arey Bhagwan ne bada badhiya kar diya, no? Train ruka hua tha, no?" Okay, you can say grateful to the Lord, but you should also take responsibility to the next day, next time move in time, you know. So we have to plan our actions before time, you know, so that we can avoid such mistakes also. And then prakriti kriyamanani. Sometimes a person may have rightly desired and some untoward situation happens. So one should know that the prakriti is acting according to whatever the Lord's plan is. So one should not get caught up in doership either in the depression idea or in the proud idea also. He should not think, oh, because of me only everything has gone wrong. Nor he should think because of me everything is going right. No? So he has to give up the doership mentality. So like that the tripod of Ishvara, Prakriti and Jiva is very important to understand. And more we understand this, then we will be freed from sakama karma. You know? We will have no fruitive activity idea. We'll do nishkama activities. And if we offer it to Krishna, then bhakti also comes. So here Prabhupada explains through two examples. One is of the judge. So the judge is actually judging, but he is not supposed to be responsible for someone's misconduct and the punishment that he receives because of the misconduct. He did a misconduct, that is why he is getting the punishment. And if someone is liberated from the jail, that is also because of his good activity in the jail or whatever. If he did not do any wrong act, he did not go to the jail, that is because he did not do the wrong act. But judge is simply doing the work according to whatever is set as the laws. Similarly, the Lord has actually nothing to do with the happiness and distress of this jiva. The jiva is actually having a wrong conduct. So Lord has given prakriti ka niyam, laws of nature. And one has to act. Like imagine someone says that, I don't believe in the laws of nature. I don't believe in the law of gravitation. I will not believe in it. Okay, sir, you jump from the window and still the law of gravitation will act. So whether we believe in it or not, law will act. Similarly, all the subtle laws of nature, law of karma also act on the jiva, irrespective of whether he believes in them or not. So the judge is only awarding what is the fault of the law of gravitation in giving him punishment. And law of gravitation is also being acted under the supervision of the Lord. So some people, those who are karma mimamsa people, they think that Jai Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari Ji ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai. Vasant Panchami ki Jai. Yellow green dress. So some people who are karma mimamsa philosophers, they say that actually that only karma is all important. God is also just a dull fellow. He has to simply do this job only. What? कि जो भी नियम के हिसाब से देना है वही देना है. No, that is also not true. Lord is actually independent. Lord is Swarat. That is why karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajan. Actually, this idea, this philosophy, these Ajamilas that Yamdutas also had, they did not know that if you call out to Narayana, the Narayana liberated him actually. So Lord can free that person. Just like a president, he can free a person who was supposed to be given death sentence, but he feels that this guy is a good soul, we can free him, and he is sincerely begging pardon, then he can do that. It's called amnesty. That means there is law, but there is a law awarder also, the punishment awarder. Some people say law is sab kuch hai abhi, that is also not right. And to say that that president is the responsible guy, he did not give mercy to this guy, so that means he is responsible. No, sir. You were going to get punishment because of your law, because of your karma, but now this guy has given you freedom from that. So we have our responsibility. Lord is also giving Lord's free will is also involved, and the general code of conduct is that the laws of nature will act for the jiva as defined by the Lord. But sometimes the jiva may consider that the Lord is acting unfavorably to him because of his own perception. This sukha and dukkha is based on his mental perception. Manogatan, sarvan parthan, partha manogatan. He thinks something is favorable, something is unfavorable. So actually the Lord is simply a witness, like the example is given of the two birds. One is the Paramatma and the Atma, and they both are sitting on the tree, and one is only a witness, the Paramatma, and the other bird is eating some bitter fruits, some sweet fruits. But once it gets disgusted with this whole thing, then it will turn to this other bird, and that time the other bird will help him to get liberated from this tree only. So we are actually caught up in this metal body, and the Paramatma is sitting with us, and he is simply watching what we are doing. Prabhupada gives a very powerful example. He says that we are like the dog, and the Paramatma is like the master. And the master is going around with the dog, and the dog passes stool at every place, different places, and the master is standing behind him. Let him pass here now, let him pass there. So Prabhupada, that lecture title is that we are passing stool everywhere, as something like that. That is the job we are doing in every body. Different parts of this world, we have passed stool all over the planet. In different bodies. This is the only good job we are doing, or bad job, or no job. I don't know what we should say. And the Paramatma Vichara, he is seeing this whole thing, and he is never turning away only. He is not turning back to see what should I do for the master. He is simply busy trying to do his own job, finding out something to eat and then passing stool actually. So this is the only job that the jiva is doing in this world. And he perceives happiness and distress based on his own mental concoction. Like one time we were taking our youth to Nasik for a camp. So before we started, we had come out with the bus out of NVCC, and suddenly rain started. And one boy asked, "Sir, why is Lord so unfavorable? We are going to a Dham Yatra. Why Lord is not allowing us to go to his Dham for holy trip? You should have allowed us, but he is putting rains. Why this?" I said, "Lord is not your knocker, भगवान आपका नौकर नहीं बैठे घर पे, हम उनके नौकर हैं, भगवान हमारे नौकर नहीं है." So Jiva thinks what, suppose I have to go today from here to my office, then अरे बारिश हो रहा है, भगवान बारिश बंद करो, मुझे जाने का है. And after he goes to the office, then he will think, if rains don't come, then there will be no tap in the water. No, there will be no water in the tap. So भगवान अभी बारिश चालू कर सकते हो. अभी कोई दूसरा व्यक्ति जा रहा होगा ऑफिस, तो फिर से वो बोलेगा अभी बंद कर दो. भगवान कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे, वो करना क्या चाहते हो तुम लोग. So the jiva considers that I am the center of this universe, and everything should happen around my idea of what is happiness and distress for me. Why should the world work according to your idea, sir? The Lord is doing whatever is required, and he is doing welfare for all living entities. And if we have distress, it is because of our own misconduct. So we should know that all these are mental perceptions of the jiva, and the Lord is bereft of it. Lord is having Leela. He comes here to say, Radha Gunjari is playing on his flute and saying, "Come in my Leela." And sometimes boyfriend, girlfriend come and say, "We want our Leela only." Radha Krishna is calling in their Leela, and they want to do their own Leela here. It's not Leela, it is some wrong idea. but they want to have their own Radharani and they want to have their own Leela, you know. So this is actually the mental concoction which the Jiva has, that he wants to enjoy separately from the Lord, and he suffers because of that. Whether happiness or distress, both are suffering because he is bound in the karmic reaction. So with this we will pause here on this subject, and I would like to share something on Pundarik Vidyanidhi ji. Actually there are 5 personalities we can discuss. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Raghunandan Thakur, Raghunath Das Goswami, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, and Vishnu Priya Devi ji. Each one of them is very, very powerful Acharya, and we can go on describing. So I was considering that Raghunath Das Goswami ji we discuss a lot about in Paniyati festival time, and many other times also we get to hear about him. So I'll try to do share something on Pundarik Vidyanidhi ji, and if time permits, then maybe Raghunandan Acharya and Vishnu Priya Devi something. So like that. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also, yesterday we had a beautiful class by His Holiness Bhakti Asha Vaishnav Maharaj and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So within the time. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi ji is known as, actually in the Gaur Ganodesh Dupika, he is known as Radharani's father, Vishwabhanu ji. And he, in this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, he is come as Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Lord used to call him with love as Prem Nidhi also, Prem Nidhi. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi was born in Chattagram in East Bengal, now known as Bangladesh. It is now, Chattagram is known as Chittagong. No, so very nice preaching is happening in Chittagong. I had gone to this place of Pundarik Dham, very powerful place. Actually there only Mukunda Dutt and Vasudev Dutt were also born, and they used to meet also them. They also used to meet Pundarik Vidyanidhi ji. And because of that, when later the pastimes happen at Navdeep, so among all the Vaishnavas, apart from Lord Chaitanya, only Mukunda Dutt knew the glory of Pundarik Vidyanidhi ji, because he knew how powerful he is, a big Acharya with, actually he would always cover himself with materialistic attire and materialistic actions. Like, he would have oily hair with, and big royal dresses, and eating pan, and hundreds of servants serving him. So no one would think he's like some detached Vaishnava or something. So he would keep this attire to hide his Vaishnavism. But he was a very great Brahmana and a Vaishnava, and he had many, many disciples. So once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Pundarik Vidyanidhi was still at Chattagram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Navdeep, he started crying in ecstasy, Pundarik, Pundarik, Pundarik. So devotees thought, who is this Pundarik? He said, Pundarik, my father, Pundarik, my father. So devotees thought maybe he is calling out to Pundarik Kaksha. Pundarik Kaksha is another name for Lord Krishna. Then he said, Vidyanidhi, Vidyanidhi. Then they understood some personality is going to come who is yet not, we are not knowing him, and he must be a very dear devotee of Lord Chaitanya. So by the desperate call of the Lord, Pundarik Vidyanidhi was attracted to come to Navdeep Dham. And he came with a big entourage of disciples, servants, and many people. And when he came, hardly anyone came to know also that some devotee has come, because he was in such royal materialistic attires and all, that people thought one more fellow has come, materialistic fellow has come. Only Mukunda knew and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew. So when he came, Mukunda, who knew about him, he one day, who was a very dear friend of Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit and Mukunda would regularly have, it was a great friendship bond. So he said, let me make you meet one extraordinary Vaishnava today. And if you feel pleased with this, then you please accept me as your servant. No? So this was his desire, that if I get to make you meet a great Vaishnava, so you should then accept me as your servant. So Gadadhar Pandit said, Jai, Jai, very nice, let's go and meet. And then when he went to Pundarik Vidyanidhi's house, so he paid obeisances to Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and Pundarik Vidyanidhi knew him, so he gave him a seat, and he asked, Mukunda, who is that devotee? And then he said, oh, he's a very nice devotee, he is very renowned since his childhood, he is the son of Madhav Mishra, he's a very wonderful devotee. So he was very happy, oh, very nice. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi's demeanor at that time was very amazing to see. So he was dressed in great attire, and and then he was having like cushions. Of course, I also have cushions, and very royal bedstead, and he had pan also in a very expensive pan ka box, and then there was a spittoon also. Spittoon matlab pan thukne ke liye, So he had that also, and he was eating pan, and he was seeing his face, and he was smiling, seeing his red lips and everything, and he had oily hair, and it was very bewildering for Gadadhar Pandit, because Gadadhar Pandit is anyway very renowned in his mindset, and he was seeing such a person, and he thought, Mukunda was going to make me meet a great Vaishnava. Here he has made me meet, seems like a very gross materialist, How come? Mukunda read his heart, and immediately, in order to alleviate him from all that misconception, he started speaking Putana Katha, and he said that beautiful verse, Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam Jigam Se Payad Apiya Sadvi Leve Gatim Dhatrim Muchitam Tatonyam Kamba Dayalam Sharanam Rajema. Oh, this Putana had come to poison the Lord with Kalkuta, but actually the Lord gave him a position of the Dhatri. So who is more merciful than the Lord to take shelter of? So like that he said, as soon as Mukunda said that verse, Pundarik Vidyanidhi was beside himself. He threw everyone aside. There were 10 servants around him. All of them were into 10 directions. And his bed went in one direction. His couch fell down. His pan, everything was out. His mirror, everything, and his hair became disheveled. And he tore up his clothes also. Everything was on ground. Nothing remained. The pot he was drinking from, everything was like on the ground, and nothing remained. It was all pieces within moments, and he was murchit. He was unconscious. Then immediately Gadadhar Pandit understood. Garbad ho gaya. He's a very, very advanced Vaishnava. Such an advanced Vaishnava that although he is interacting with these sense objects, he has nothing to do with that in his internal consciousness. In his internal consciousness, he is simply with Krishna. And he was crying, Krishna, why are you so much troubling me? He was crying in lamentation, and then he fell unconscious. And when he understood this mistake of his, then he told Mukunda that I made a big mistake. Thank you for saving me. You are my real friend. Because of your revealing the true identity, I could see the greatness of this personality. There is no one such a great personality like Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And he said, I did this mistake because till now I have not taken a spiritual master. Otherwise he would have corrected me. Actually, there was no time to correct also, Mind mein socha tha unhone, bola bhi nahi tha kuch. But still he felt that if I had been having an instructor, I could have corrected. So Mukunda, I want shelter of the lotus feet of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Please beg for my initiation. And how can he beg? He was very happy, but he was already murchit now. And he came back to consciousness after 6 hours. So 6 hours they were waiting, They were waiting there for 6 hours that he will come back to consciousness. As soon as he came back to consciousness, Gadadhar Pandit fell on his lotus feet, and he bathed his whole body actually by tears. He said like Ganga, Gadadhar Pandit's tears were flowing in ecstasy of love for Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And then Mukunda told that actually Gadadhar Pandit made a mistake in understanding your true greatness, but now he wants to atone for that offense by taking your shelter as a Dikshit disciple. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi was very pleased. He said, it is my great fortune to have a disciple like Gadadhar Pandit. On the 12th day, on the Dwadashi, I will initiate you. So like that. And then one day, after just one night actually in hiding, no one knew except Lord Chaitanya. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi went to meet Lord Chaitanya. So when he went, as soon as he saw the Supreme Lord, he fainted there only. He was trying to pay obeisances, but he fainted before he paid obeisances. And he was not He was not coming to consciousness. Everyone understood that now he is in ecstasy actually. And then Lord Chaitanya embraced him, and Lord Chaitanya went in ecstasy for 3 hours. He was in the embrace only for 3 hours like that. So what must be these relationships, no? My father has come, Prem Nidhi, my father has come now, it's like that. Lord Chaitanya is in ecstasy. So for 3 hours that went on, and everyone understood it. He is a very, very dear devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And then eventually Mukunda reveals that Gadadhar Pandit wants initiation. He said, immediately take initiation, now only, very nice, very nice. So like that, immediately he is given the Diksha. Eventually there is one beautiful more pastime in the Puri Dham when Lord Chaitanya goes. So there now Pundarik Vidyanidhi is here while Gadadhar Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are at Puri. So one day Gadadhar Pandit goes to Lord Chaitanya and says that, Lord, I have given this Ishta mantra which I had got to someone who was not qualified, and because of that actually now I have lost the realizations which I was getting in chanting this mantra. So you please give me this mantra again. He said, why are you doing such an offense, and why are you making me do this offense? Actually that mantra was given by your Guru Maharaj, and that Maharaj is there on the planet, you have to ask him only. He said, but he is very far away, you are Supreme Lord, you only give me. He said, no, I can't do this. And don't worry, I know, I have been feeling separation from Pundarik Vidyanidhi for so long. I am sure he is coming, and now that you have come with this desire, I think because of your desire only, he is just going to come. In next 10 days he will be coming, because he is the Paramatma in the heart. He knew already that he is on the way. So he said, he is coming. So you take from him directly. And then in not so many days, very fast he came, Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And when he came, Lord Chaitanya was so happy, so happy. So there immediately Gadadhar Pandit got the mantra, and then eventually actually Sarup Damodar Goswami Ji and Pundarik Vidyanidhi are thick friends, are very thick friends. They knew each other in Navdeep also. And now Sarup Damodar and Pundarik Vidyanidhi, when they come together, actually both are trying to catch each other's lotus feet. And both are, they both faint in ecstasy for each other, and both are trying to catch each other's lotus feet, but no one is able to do that. And Lord is relishing this nice rasa going on between them. Of course, these great souls can do this, we should. So anyway, so then one time they both used to daily go for Jagannath Darshan. So when Odan Shashti happens on the winter time, the Lord is given a special dress, the Odan Shashti bolte hain usko, and that time actually he is given a starched dress. So starched dress is not considered very pure. So when he saw, Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw, so then Pundarik Vidyanidhi was discussing with Sarup Damodar. What is this? Actually already the festival happens, Lord Chaitanya is also enjoying the festival, and after that when they are leaving, then Pundarik Vidyanidhi starts having a discussion with this Sarup Damodar ji, that how can they put starched dress on the Lord? So he says, Arey, Lord is Swarat, he can wear starched dress also, why you have to debate about that, He said, no, Lord may be Swarat, but they are touching that starched dress, that is impure, na? How can they touch such a starched dress? They are not the Supreme Lord. He says, what is the problem? Lord wants to wear a starched dress, he can wear, no? Then Pundarik says, I am not talking about the Lord, I am talking about the jivas only, The Lord may be transcendental, but these jivas, they are the devotees, the servants of the Lord, they cannot think that they can touch anything. They should not wear. And this king is also wearing starched, feta around his head. What is this? This is impure. This cannot be done. Then they should change this. So like this they are discussing and laughing also. It's like a light talk, but they are laughing. That night when Pundarik is taking rest, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, in the night comes Jagannath and Balramji, and they say, you criticize my devotees. You think I am transcendental and they are not transcendental. Today, and they slap, and it is mentioned that the fingers of the Lord took an impression over the, so fingers are there of Jagannath ji also, That means Lord Jagannath has, hands sometimes inside because of ecstasy, but then his fingers are there. So he got slaps, and it is mentioned later, he got slaps, and then actually his cheeks got swollen. When he got up in the morning, he saw in the mirror, all the cheeks were swollen actually. And that day he did not go to take darshan. So Sarup Damodar came and he said, hey, every day you come and meet me for going to Jagannath darshan. Today you did not turn up. He said, come near little bit. Then he saw, my God, both the cheeks are swollen. He said, hey, what happened to you? Then he related the whole pastime, what had happened. You know, he said 48 minutes, ek danda, you know, 48 minutes they were beating me, you know, about, you know. Can you imagine? Almost 50 minutes if someone gets beating, and that also Jagannath and Balramji. But he was in super ecstasy. He said, I got mercy, I got punished for my offense. Thank you, O Lord, thank you so much. He was very ecstatic. At the same time, he said, in this way I can't go outside now, you know. People will ask what happened, I will have to tell what offense I did and everything. So better till I get repaired in these cheeks, I will not go out. So till then I will be inside only. So like that, Lord corrected a very dear devotee, and Sarup Damodar is in ecstasy. What type of dear devotee you are, Prabhu? The Lord personally corrected your offense actually, you know. So you are so dear to the Lord. Actually this is the last chapter of Ante Leela of Chaitanya Bhagavat. So uska naam hi yahi hai, the glories of Pundari Vidyanidhi. You know? The whole chapter is named after that. So Pundari Vidyanidhi is a very, very dear devotee of the Supreme Lord. And time is up. Hare Krishna. I was going at a fast speed because I wanted to take more. But I think with this I will close to respect the time of the Vaishnavas. Vishnu Priya Devi. Okay. So Vishnu Priya Devi ji is the incarnation of Bhu Devi. There are Shri Devi, Bhu Devi and Neela Devi, who are the consorts of the Lord. So Shri Devi was Lakshmi Priya, and when Lord Chaitanya went to East Bengal, that time in separation from Lord Chaitanya, she left the body, Lakshmi Priya, who was the first wedded wife of Lord Chaitanya. So when Mother Sachi wanted to make Nimai marry one more, so she called for a devotee, for a astrologer, and he fixed this marriage with Mother Vishnu Priya. So Vishnu Priya ji, since her childhood, she would go daily to take bath in the Ganga, and she would also, whenever she would go to take bath, she would get to meet Mother Sachi and she would take her blessings. And Mother Sachi already knew that she is an abode of wonderful qualities, and she was very happy to know that if she can become the wife of my Nimai. So Vishnu Priya Devi got married to the Lord at the age of 8-9 years only, and she was at home at 12-13. She actually went to the Lord's home, and at 14, when she was 14, Lord was 24 and took sannyas. So only around 1 year she could spend actually with the Lord, and by that time Lord had already gone to Gaya. After this marriage, Lord Chaitanya goes to Gaya, and after Gaya his heart went. Gaya. So his heart was lost to Krishna, and then he was only crying in separation from Krishna. So she only could see this kind of activities all the time, that he is crying in separation from Krishna, and when he will leave home we don't know. And people were saying sannyas le lenge, you know. So they were very fearful, both Sachi Mata and Vishnu Priya Devi. So then one day she went to actually take bath in the Ganga, and while taking bath in the Ganga, she lost her ring. And she thought where that ring went, because that was a wedding ring, but she could not find out. So she was feeling something inauspicious going to happen, you know. And came back and was bitterly crying to Mother Sachi. And then that time, then Lord Chaitanya, in the night, he was extra loving, you know. That day he decorated her hair also, and he was extra loving to her. And then, she thought, why is this? There is something more difficult to happen, you know, because he was always in ecstasy of Krishna and she could never talk to him also much. But today he is giving so much love, that means something more problematic is going to come up, you know. So she was crying tears while massaging the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, Nimai. And then Lord Chaitanya said, why you are crying? And then she could not speak. And then Lord Chaitanya revealed his form and revealed her original position also. And then eventually Lord Chaitanya, actually she is by Yogamaya potency put to sleep, and then he leaves and he takes the dust from the lotus feet of Sachi Mata, and he leaves. Sachi Mata could not say yes or no. She was in a statue. And after that, Vishnu Priya Devi, she lives in separation, and she is serving Mother Sachi very dearly, very nicely. At the same time, she would chant the names of the Lord, and after finishing one round, she would take one rice grain, and like that she would take one rice grain after one round, and then that much rice which she would make in collect in one full day of chanting, that she would offer to the Lord, and she would thus eat that much only, whatever was there. And she became very emaciated like that. But eventually Lord Chaitanya appeared, and he appeared in the dream and told that you can make a deity form of mine with there was a description of how to make it. And then she would offer bhoga to the Lord with that, and she became happy to again get to see the Lord. And then, so like that, Mother Vishnu Priya Devi left her, passed away her rest of her life. So Vishnu Priya Devi is actually Bhudevi, eternal consort of the Lord. It is also mentioned that she is Satyavama's incarnation, and the astrologer who was sent for Satyavama's marriage was the same astrologer who was sent for Vishnu Priya's marriage. So like that, it's actually Krishna Leela in new format. So like that. So Shri Vishnu Priya Devi Mataji ki jai. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai.